so today we're gonna do some old school pan fishing. I got myself a little mule jig. I got myself a baby shad in diamond mist, and all I'm gonna be doing is fishing this little jig under a float. Put a little bit of Procure because these fish can't resist that Procure scent, man. It is deadly. We're gonna use the Crappie Panfish one. Just toss it behind me just so I don't drop it in the water. And all we're doing is just casting out, popping it back. Let's go. First freaking cast, little crappie. That's a good sign. Alright, that was a good start, man. Ooh, look at that, right in that same spot, man. I think it's another crappie, because that thing just smoked it. Could be, oh, it was a gill. Huh, what are the odds of that? As soon as that hit the water, and I'm casting into the wind, which kind of sucks. I don't know how fast you saw how fast that float and jig just moved, which is kind of less than ideal, because where I'm trying to cast, like my max kind of distance with the wind coming across this way is, I don't know, 30 feet with this light of a jig, and just look how quick it's moving. And the only issue is right to my left is super shallow, which makes it very difficult. Like, see, with that, when the line gets hung up in the wind like that, that's a little annoying, but I guess that's the conditions we're gonna have to deal with today. Man, there's definitely fish sitting right on that little edge where I'm casting to, because it's funny, when I get it in that little like 4x4 area, I'm getting like these reactionary strikes. But as I get closer, like that, got them. As I get closer to that flat, they seem to disappear. So they must be sitting right on that edge. That's pretty cool, man. It's funny, man. The difference in catching right now is like legitimately, I don't know, a 5-foot difference. Like those previous casts I was making, you know, I was casting, I don't know, 8 to 10 feet short of where I am now, and I must have been just getting fish right on the edge. Oh man, there it is again. Got him that time. Got him that time. I'm gonna switch out that float, because it is super tough to see. All right, I think we found the right combo. Can't cast as far with this lighter trout magnet float, but I don't know if we were going to have the same amount of success with that weighted float that we were just using. I mean, I had probably 4 or 5 short strikes that probably wouldn't happen with this float, because they can grab it and go under with it with very minimal resistance. But well, only time will tell. I'll tell you what though, the red is so much easier to see in this like green water. Oh, something messing with it. Man, look at that. Got him. Just took a second. Tell you what, man, there's some thick gills today. Look at this freaking studly gill. All right, so I think we found the winning combo. Red trout magnet float. Look at that. I mean, geez Louise, that one, I don't think I would have had this fish if I was using that bigger float, just because there's so much resistance on it. This is like just the perfect amount of resistance that, you know, the fish can pull it down and they don't spit it as easy as they would, you know, with that bigger float that we were using. I mean, I didn't even get a chance to pitch that one or jig that one back. As soon as that hit the water, it just went under. Oh, and that's the only bad thing sometimes with this float fishing is I leave a little bit of slack so that when I go to pop it, I'm not popping it at a further distance than what I want to. But the only issue when you leave that much slack in your line and a fish takes that float under, there is a little bit of a delay. And, you know, we just swung and missed on that last one. These fish tearing this baby shad apart. Might have to retire this one after this cast because it's getting all ripped up. Man, as soon as that hit water, as soon as that hit the water, man, it went under. Something's messing with it now. I keep seeing it, the float just disappearing ever so slightly. Got him. That was a little bit of a delay on my part. I'm looking at the leaf that was next to it. Yeah, I think it's time to retire this baby shad. When it gets like ripped up like that, it just becomes a pain to keep rehooking it. Look at that. Got him. Oh, had him and dropped him. Son of a gun. Wonder if he'll come back for it. Man. That noise right there, man, sometimes it's enough to just trigger a bite. Oh, man. Maybe we'll come back. Got him that time. Just took a jig. Man, look at that. This is a lot of fun, man. I mean, they gotta be pretty schooled up because it's almost like, I don't know, I wouldn't say instantaneous, but within, you know, 30 seconds you have something on you. In fact, what seems to be happening, if I cast it in the right spot, as soon as I cast it, you know, the few casts that I made right there, the float has just been going straight under. All right, float's gone. Oh, float went under for just a second. Try and get it back out there. Oh man, float just went under, came back up. Son of a gun. Got him that time. There we go. Telling you, man, hard to beat the float jig. Look at this, man. He just slurped that down. That whole jig is in his mouth. Alright, there we go. What I've been doing, I've been making a little bit of an adjustment. Now when I'm casting it, I'm letting it sit for a second, because look at that. I mean, sometimes when it lands in the water, they've been on it right away, so I'm kind of giving them a little bit more time to give it a strike before I pop it. But man, like, just as I just said that prior, I'm gonna bring it back. I think I was just on the edge of them. As soon as that hits the water, man, it's like gangbusters, man. They're just on it. Like right now, I'm counting in my head kind of like 5, and then I'm gonna twitch it. Not twitching it as fast, because I think they're just, as soon as they see it, one's going for it. And oh, like right there, that I felt that one grab it. But oh, right there, got him. Man, this is fun. Can't beat this with a stick.